Hello my friends and welcome back to a new video. Have you watched these two videos? If no, you can find the link of them down below in the description. Watch them and be familiar with them because in this video I'm going to use the material of those two videos to make this application. I'm going to use Mvvm, viewModel and ExoPlayer to build this application. I have a list of videos. All of them are coming through internet. I have just the link of them and I'm playing them one by one. If I want, I can click on another one and you can see that's playing here. If you want, you can make it full screen, landscape mode, and if you open one video, then rotate the screen, still you see that this video is playing. So we are using viewModel and Mvvm to achieve this. Be with me till the end of the video to be familiar with all of these features. Here I have an application like a project, let's say. In the main activity, I've changed the name of this composable, the greeting, to a streaming video. And here is this empty composable and nothing more. In the manifest, I have added the internet permission. In the build.gradle, I have these dependencies. This line for using viewModel, these three lines for ExoPlayer, and this one for coil to display these thumbnails, the thumbnail of the videos, because all of them are photos that are coming through the internet. Then here I have a data class. One of the variables that I have in this data class is a string type thumbnail for the thumbnail of the video. The other one is a video URL. Again, the type a string. And here I have list of my videos. It's only a file. I've stored the video list inside it. It's list of this data class, and you can see the thumbnails, the videos, the thumbnail, the videos. I have 8 or 9 of them, and then I duplicate them multiple times to have a long list. And at the end of these lines, you can see that the format of the photo is JPEG and the format of the video is MP4. And through this website, I got them. If you search video.net on the internet, you can achieve a lot of different videos there. Okay. Here, let's start here with building the layout. Let's say half of the layout. I mean this list, and display the photos on the screen. So if you are not familiar with the lazy column and async image, this video is a good practice for you as well. Here we need a column. On the top, we need this player, and on the bottom, the lazy vertical grid or lazy column as you want. In this example, I used lazy column because I wanted to have the name of the videos as well. But if you want, you can make it like blocks per blocks, like beside each other in one column, two columns, three columns. Just beside each other. Okay, here I'm going to start from the column, and inside the column on the top, later I will add the composable for the player, and below the composable we are going to use the lazy column. Here here, let's customize this lazy column a bit. We need a padding. 10 dp is enough. Importing the dp. And for the content, items indexed. As the items, I'm going to pass this video list here, video list. Let's change this because later we need it again. Main video list is better, and later in the view model we need it as well. So main video list, and we will have two return functions here, index and item. Okay, then we need a row here. First we will have the async image, then a padding, and then the text that holds the name of the video. So to customize this row, let's have fill max width, and then we will have this whole row clickable, because as you see, when I'm clicking on the item, wherever I click it will play, and I don't want make this image or the text only clickable. I want the user to be like free to click wherever the user wants. We will come back to the clickable later, but after this clickable and the modifier, we need the horizontal arrangement spaced by 16 dp. And vertical alignment bottom, to have the text here down below of this item. Okay, everything is ready here. So now async image. For the model, we are going to use the item dot thumbnail, and for the video description you can write whatever you want. Then a text, index +1, and fill max size dot weight 1f. Okay, here is what do we need for this. And finally, after the row, we need a divider. Again, fill max width and a padding of 6 dp. Vertical. Okay. Now we set this list on the lazy column. We can take a look at it. Okay, we have our list, and the coil library works perfectly, and the permission is accepted, and through the internet we are getting these images. Okay, let's go further. Here I have some packages, one of them model, and I have stored this and this inside it, and I have another package named viewModel, and it's empty. Right click, new, and Kotlin class. Sorry. And I'm going to create a class for the viewModel and calling it VideoPlayer viewModel or video streamer viewModel. Okay, let's zoom, and it inherits from viewModel. Okay. Whenever we are working with the viewModel, we have to have like a pattern that should follow it to achieve the purpose that you want. Here, we are going to check which kind of variables and which kind of functions we need, and we have to create all of them here in the viewModel. We need a function to create the ExoPlayer. Sorry, a variable. Then we need another variable to have the index of the video that we are clicking on it here. Then we need the list, the whole list that we have it here, and it's another variable, and that's it for the variables. And we need a couple of functions. One of them to initialize the player, the ExoPlayer. One of them to release the player when we are clicking on new video. We have to release the player out of the old resource. The other one to play the video after initializing. And finally, we need another function to connect the player to the player view. It should create a player view for us and then set the ExoPlayer on this player view. And we have to build all of them here inside of this viewModel. So let's start with the private value or variable, because all the time we are making it null, and again we are loading some variable, some value on it. Okay, the type of it is ExoPlayer. It's here. At the beginning is equal to null, and we are making it nullable. Okay. As I said, we need the variable for the index, and we are sending it to it later. the type is integer, and it's equal to 0 at the beginning. Another variable for the video list, the type of it is a list of video data and equals to list of. That's it for the variables for now, and let's go to the functions. As I said, we need a function for initializing the player. Here we need a context. So the type of it is context, and then the ExoPlayer that we built here equals to ExoPlayer.builder, and we are passing the context to it and dot build. So that's it for this function. Another function we need to release the player. ExoPlayer, we are checking if it has any value, then play when ready equals to false, then ExoPlayer again dot release, and making the ExoPlayer equal to null again. Okay, here is the function to release the player, and then another function to play the video. Here we are checking if ExoPlayer has any value, then we are letting the player to do so. First, we have to stop the player before starting a new video. So again, we are stopping it. Player.stop. Then instead of like this, let's use apply. I don't want to write all the time player. Okay, so player, first stop it, then clear media items, then set media item from URI parse, and here we are going to pass the video list, then the index, and dot video URL. Okay, then play when ready, and it's equal to true, and preparing the player, and finally playing the video. And that's everything for this function. And the last function is setting actually creating a player view. In the last videos that we built and we worked with the ExoPlayer, you remember that we used Android view, and inside it we had a factory, and as the factory we used a player view. So here we have to build the player view as well. Okay, let's create it. We need a function calling it player view builder. It needs a context, and the type of it is a player view, and it returns a variable that we are going to clear here. So player view, and return player view. Okay, in between we have to do some stuff here. So it equals to player view, passing the context to it, and dot apply. You can use it like that as well. First of all, it has a player. The player will be equal to ExoPlayer, the player that we built here actually. And then the controller auto show will be equal to true, and we have to add this annotation on the top. But remember, you cannot add it here. The compiler will give you error. So I'm going to cut it, and here on top of the class I will add it. Okay, after this we need to keep the screen on when we are on the landscape mode. True. And that's it. Even without these two lines, the player view is ready and it works. And the rest of the materials that I'm writing here are belong to having full screen, the landscape view on this player view. So we need another variable here. I'm going to call it activity, and equals to this context that we are sending here as activity. And here we use set full screen button click listener, and by using this function you will have the button of full screen appearing down below of your player. Then we are going to check if is full screen or not. We are going to create this return variable here. Now I'm going to use it is full screen. If it's on full screen mode, we are going to use activity.request orientation equals to let me copy this part. Okay, and no need to write this. Then else, let's copy this. Activity dot request orientation equals to this without the user. Alt and enter to import it. And without this activity info, it should work. Alt and enter, import, and that's it. Okay, everything is set on the view model, and now we need to create the layout for the player and add it in the main activity. So here in the root package, I'm going to right click and create a file. You can call it a streamer or a streaming player or whatever you want. Then we need to build a composable. And a function we need some variables here. In the example that we have a small button on top of the player. Let me show you the actual example. Here, this one. We are using this to close the video if we want. So instead of like the column that we are using here, you can use a box, and whenever you are clicking on one video, it will you will be able to make it like occupying the whole size of the video by using fill max size instead of fill max width. And then after the video finished, you can close it. So I'm giving you this option as well. For this, we have to use a variable, a boolean type, to check if the video is playing or not. To make it disappear, we have to make that variable false, and we have to send it from this file to the main activity. So one of the items that we need here is this one. So on player close, and it returns the unit, and we need a variable here. So is video playing, the type of it is boolean. This is the first variable that the other variable that we need here is the viewModel, and another variable again with a type of boolean. Okay, that's all of the materials that we need here. For the player, I'm going to use a box all around this player, and inside of the box we are going to check if his player is playing is true. We are creating Android view, and inside of the Android view we are going to use this function, this player view builder, and we will set this player view on our Android view. So let's have a box here. Fill max width, and content alignment, alignment center. Okay. Android view, and here the modifier fill max fit, and as the factory let's create a return variable here, and now the viewModel dot player view builder, and passing this context to the player view builder. Let me inline them. Okay, here is our Android view, and down below this I'm going to create icon button, and here icon, icons dot default dot close empty, and modifier equals to align alignment top end. I want to have it here on the top right corner of the screen, and let's have a color also for this, and this is the modifier. After the modifier, tint color white. Okay, that's it. I was talking about this variable, so here let's implement it. If is playing, that means if it's true and we are playing a video, something like that. And where is the end of this? So here we are going to close this if, and I think somewhere wrong I'm implementing the else. Okay, here in the resources, in the drawable, I have this loading image, and whenever we don't have any video, I'm going to display this image. You can set whatever you want instead of this. Okay, so if it's playing, we have the player. If it's not playing, we have the image, and that's it. Now here this on player close. Here we have the on click of this icon button. So when somebody clicks on this, we want to close the player, and we have to release the player in the view model as well. So here on player closed will be false, and in the next line view model dot release player. Okay. Actually on player close is the name of the function, and is video playing will be equal to false. Now it makes sense. This one is video playing, the boolean. Let's go to the main activity and use this streamer player. As I said, on top of this lazy column, in this column we are going to implement this, but we need some variables here. We will have this streaming player. What was the name of it? Streamer player, yeah, this one. For the view model is playing and on player closed and some other stuff. We need some variables here. Let's create them. Let me zoom a bit more. First of all, we need a variable to check if is playing or not. By remember mutable state of false. At the beginning you want it to be false. Then another variable, calling it video item index by remember mutable integer state of 0. Why 0? Because at the beginning when we are opening the video, this first video will be playing automatically. So the index of this video in our list is 0. So we are starting from the 0 here. Then a value of the view model and now we need to set the view model dot video list equals to main video list. We are passing the list of the videos here, this one, to the view model as well. And in the next line we need the context equals to local context dot current. That's whatever we need here. As the view model, we are going to pass this view model. As is playing, we are going to pass is playing. And here it will return us this variable here, is video playing. So is video playing, we will set it to is playing equal to is video playing. That comes from the streamer composable till here. Then we have a clickable on the row. Whenever we are clicking on this, we have to do some stuff. If we are not clicking on the same video that is playing, so we have to check this. Video item index is not equal to index. That means we are clicking on another video, not the same video that is playing now. So is playing equals to false. That means we are going to close the video that already is playing. So consider we are playing index 0 and I'm clicking on index 4. So this result will not be equal. Then we are going to set this is playing false. And as we pass this is playing to this function, whenever this is playing is false, we will not have any player and we will display only this image. Yeah, so till here, and then till now we stopped the video that we were playing it. Now we want to play the new video. So viewModel dot index will be equal to index of this new video that we clicked on it, and then video item index will be equal to viewModel.index. The variable that was equal to 0 will be equal to the viewModel that the index that we passed to the viewModel. Why? Because the viewModel should save the index number for us, and when we are rotating the screen and recreating the activity, the index will be stored, will remain inside of the viewModel, and there will be no changes on it. So after rotating the screen again, the same video will play for us. Okay. Finally, after all of them, where is the end of this column? It's here though. Okay, here we need a launch effect. What happens when we are doing these changes? So we have to monitor the video item index. If the index changed, that means we clicked on new video. So we have to play that video. So is playing should be true again after clicking. Here we closed the player and we dismissed the previous video, and now we are opening the new video. So again the player will be open, then the viewModel dot apply, and here first releasing the player, then initializing the player, passing the context to it, and then playing the video. And that's it, I think. If I don't miss anything, it should work. And we call it here. Let's check. This stays in the middle of the screen, so we have error there, but the index 0 is playing. the landscape mode works. And if I click on another video, okay, we are closing the previous video and opening the new video. Okay, and let me check if the view model works. Yeah, again we have the same video. We have only this problem and it works, but we need to align it. Let's go to the streamer player. Where is this icon button? We made a mistake here because we set this modifier on the icon, but it should be setting on the icon button. So after on click, I'm going to paste it here. This modifier should set on the icon button. And let's check it again. Yeah, now it locates in the proper place. And that was whatever I wanted to tell you about using ExoPlayer as a streamer using Mvvm. I hope you liked this video. It was actually a beginner guide, and maybe some of you know viewModel and even in advanced level. So it was a bit seedy for you, but it's a good practice for those who are beginner in using the clean architecture and Mvvm concept. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Write down below your comments, whatever is in your mind. I want to know about it, and it helps me create videos for you. And if you are new in this channel, please hit the subscribe button to support me. And this thanks button down below is waiting for you. Click on it, please. Have a good day. Bye bye.